Our evening began in Peter Sechel's comfortable study in his New York townhouse, where the candlelight was just right, the hi-fi was in the background, and the wine was delicious.
Destroy.
And was there anything of value in the car?
Tape deck, some Creedence tapes.
Tommy, Hazards, you wanna fight?
Ed, we got him later.
Now, for the last time. Mom, give me back my fucking drumsticks.
Give me a beer! Give me water!
Shit, if this gonna be that kind of party, I'm gonna stick my dick in the mashed potato.
Hello and welcome to the High Note Podcast. I am your host, Sean Smith. This is a really special episode. This is the last in a series of 3 podcasts that I recorded at the 58th Annual Philadelphia Folk Festival. So if you haven't already, after you get done this one, go ahead and listen to the interview that I did with Dave Gunning. And you can also listen to the interview that I did with Steve Poltz. Those are episodes 22 and 21, respectively. Also, Dave Gunning took the photo of me and Talisk. If you look in the podcast notes or if you go to the website, you'll see the photo of us sitting at the table. Good guy Dave Gunning took that photo. So I'm hoping that I will have more podcasts to come related to the Folk Festival. If you know anything about me, you know that I love the Philadelphia Folk Festival, everything about it. I always make new friends. This year was no different because Molson mentions a couple people in the podcast. He mentions Gordy McKeon and his Rhythm Boys, and he mentions the band from Israel, which is OSOG. So I actually hung out with both of those people. Gordy, his bass player, Jay, and Tom, who I think is the drummer. And I also hung out with the guys from OSOG, which stands for On Shoulders of Giants, and they're great, so check them out. Check both of those bands out. You can see on Instagram, it's at Rhythm Boys, and then at OSOG. I think OSOG or OSOG Band, something like that. So before we get into the interview and before I introduce Talisk, a little bit of business. I already mentioned it. HighNoteBlog.com is the website. Check that out for the podcasts. Obviously, you can get the podcast anywhere that you listen to your podcast. You're listening to it right now, and I really appreciate it. You can subscribe anywhere that you listen to the podcast, and you can also review on Apple Podcasts. That really helps, so if you get a chance, please go on there and leave a review. On social media, I am at High Note Blog. So just at High Note Blog anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube as well. So you can listen to the podcast on YouTube if you want to do that. It's just there's no video. There's one video of the podcast that I did with Dean Randazzo at Ventnor Coffee. And there's also some other videos on the High Note YouTube page, but the only video podcast is with Dean. And now the audio is going to go up on YouTube too. Last thing, if you feel like you would like to buy me a beer or a coffee, please consider donating. Check out highnoteblog.com or look in the podcast notes. There's a link for PayPal. Just click the donate button, and a couple bucks, buys me a coffee or a beer. I really appreciate it. So this interview is with Talisk, and I did this on Sunday, August 18th, 2019. So this is the last day of the Philadelphia Folk Festival. I recorded this podcast after the Celtic Afternoon set. It's always interesting, and I didn't anticipate interviewing Talisk until I got to the Folk Festival, and then I had the opportunity to do so, and I jumped right at it because I saw them play last year on Thursday night, and I absolutely fell in love with the band. They are incredible. All amazing musicians. Molson, Haley, and Graham, absolutely incredible musicians and absolutely incredible people as well. Molson is just insane, though, when he plays the concertina. So he sits in this chair, and he's front and center, and his legs are going, and he's going back and forth. I mean, he plays the concertina like a metalhead plays guitar or drums. I mean, it's just his whole body is into it, and we talk about that in the podcast. So they captivated me last year. I kept following the band, fell in love with them. this year, really, really liked seeing them. I got to see them a few times at a few different sets. They played also on the main stage, which was really great on Saturday night. Sunday, they played the Celtic Afternoon. They're absolutely incredible. So the band is super popular in the United Kingdom. You might not have heard of them if you're in America, but they are super popular. The band and the members individually have all won countless awards. I cannot say enough about their talent and their musicianship. So go check out their albums. Abyss and Beyond are their 2 albums. They're both great. I can't recommend one over the other, but they're both amazing. Just go on YouTube and just look up Talisk, Talisk. You're looking at the podcast, I assume, so you know how to spell it. So just go check them out. You'll absolutely fall in love with them. They're just an incredible Celtic band from Scotland. They are touring throughout North America, and the 2 dates that are closest to me here in Atlantic City and probably closest to you are September 27th at the Rockwood Music Hall in New York City and September 28th at the Philadelphia Folk Song Society in Philadelphia. So just go check that out. I have links in the podcast notes to their tour as well as to their website and their most recent album, Beyond. So just go check out all those things. And I just have to mention that I was a little tuned up in this podcast, okay? I mean, this isn't like as bad as I was after the Bush podcast with Justina, or after the Bush concert with Justina, but I'd kind of had an interview scheduled with these guys, but they were so popular that the television station that was there grabbed them as soon as they got off stage. And right before this, I had interviewed Dave Gunning. So in between, I had made some friends, had a couple of beverages, tapped a keg, spilled a bunch of beer on me. If you go to my Instagram stories, you'll see the whole aftermath of that whole waiting for Talisk to show up and, having the beer spray on me from changing the keg. It was great. I can't say I was hanging out with Pete Mulvaney, whole bunch of people, but at any rate, I am super excited in this podcast. They're super excited. This is their last set, and my podcast was like the last bit of business that they had to do. So we have a lot of fun, and I hope you have fun listening to my interview with Talisk. Talisk, it's been a full year since I've seen you. Rocking the camp stage, shaking it. There was dust flying last Thursday.
I tell you, man, we do our best.
It was amazing, and you're back.
Yep.
And not just for one night.
No.
But I got you for 3 nights, right? 3 days? Did you play all 3 days?
Oh,
or was it 2 days?
Just 2 days.
Yesterday
it seems
and
like 3 days, man. We go deep.
Ooh, you do go deep. So Talisk, welcome to the High Note Podcast. I have Graham, Molson, and
Haley.
Haley is here. Guys, welcome back. Please tell me about your folk festival experience this year.
Well, we came straight from a tour. We were over in Edmonton Folk Festival in Canada, and we flew over, got to Chicago, went in Chicago, Port Clinton, Ann Arbor, Pittsburgh, and got ended in Philadelphia. And it's a total highlight of the tour we've had. We've had a great time. Lisa Schwartz runs a tight ship and a beautiful festival, and we were basically chewing at the cuds to try and come back to this festival. And it's honestly, it's amazing. We have a great time here.
Oh, man. Welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here. And I have to say, it's Molson who's talking right now.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Graham, you want to say hello?
Hi. Yeah.
I just want. How has your festival been going, Graham?
Good. Very good. This is the last one we're doing in the States. Last festival we're doing in the States. And it's a good one to finish on. We had a good gig last night. I was in sort of later on at night on the main stage. That was nice. And then this afternoon we did back at the camp stage, which actually, is probably my favourite at the minute, just because it's nuts back there, all the campers.
Yeah.
They like to party.
How did you like it up there?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, man.
Yeah?
It's good fun.
Absolutely. Haley, what do you think about the festival?
Yeah, we've really enjoyed it. It was just great fun playing on the main stage last night, and then again today was just a completely different vibe kind of thing. Everyone was up for a party and up for dancing, which was obviously very fun for us to watch as well. So yeah, it's been a really good couple of days.
Absolutely. I mean, you had the whole hill jumping.
That's what we want to do, man.
Jumping.
That's what they booked us for. That's what the book is for.
That's
It's funny.
what we're after, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like the main stage is great and it's amazing, it's beautiful, but like you're quite far away from the crowd, so like you can't like you. It's great. It's amazing. It's unbelievable, but you don't get that intimate setting of the camp stage. The camp stage, everyone just is on top of you, and like I'm pretty merciless. I'm like, you're not sitting down for this gig. You're going to be standing up for this gig, and you're going to be getting involved. Because if we're working, you're working. That's my sort of crack. So got them all up. No, it's really fun. Both of them have their qualities, but the camp stage is quality.
That's why it's nice to do both. You're
Yeah.
here for 2 days, and you can get the two different vibes, which is great fun for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Last year when you guys were here, I was shooting you, and luckily a very nice security guard shielded me from the masses who were they were ready to jump on stage last year.
Oh, yeah.
And today they were ready to jump on stage again.
Yep. We'll try and get you over that Sunday blues, the Sunday hump, and we'll get you through.
Yeah, you know who gets me through the Sunday blues is Haley's smile. I don't know if you guys ever like watched your videos, but the two of you are super serious. Have you ever seen yourself?
I have seen photos, but you know, Mawson's pretty smiley as well, so it's kind of every time I look over at Graham, not so smiley, but
miserable man.
Yeah.
So I am.
I kind of get a wee laugh out of it though, so that makes it smile even more. So
I'm half as smiley as Haley because my head's bopping so much you only see it half the time.
I'm kind of more or less laughing at them on stage. That's what it is.
Yeah. Kind of just constantly taking the mick out of each other.
What makes you laugh more, Haley? Is it the head bopping or the legs flailing of Molson?
Definitely the legs flailing. I do get a couple of giggly moments at times where it's like the can. I always call it. It's literally Mawson's can. There's definitely a tune to be written about
it's
that.
It's got to be the legs, especially with the skinny jeans, you know.
Yeah.
Legs with skinny jeans, and like there's not 1 inch of my body is in time with the music at any point.
No, that is one rule. We never follow Mawson's feet because they've got a mind of its.
They don't have a clue.
Yeah.
The music's fine. The music will be on time, but my body's completely out of time, and I don't know why. But it feels right. It doesn't feel in time. It just feels correct.
I actually secretly think he wants to be a dancer, but music's just going to have to.
That's what I did. I did dancing first, but you only have a 35-year career with a dancer. Whereas you can do this till you go.
So I don't want to make the interview super weird real quick, but I want to show you guys something.
But it'll get weird sometime.
I woke up this morning and I went.
You didn't want to make it weird, did you?
I went, what the hell did I do to myself last night? I have all these bruises on my leg.
For the viewers that can't see this, he's currently naked.
The viewers have seen that. And that was from me slapping my leg during your set last night because I was down taking photos of you guys.
Quality.
And then I was up in the VIP area and just, you can't stand up in there. There's a lot of old folks around.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there rocking because the chairs are connected. And I'm rocking the whole aisle and slapping my leg, and my wife is like, oh. And I'm like, yeah. And then
I was like, is it tight?
But the thing was, you know whose foot I was watching was Graham's. I was keeping in time with you, bro. So let me ask you about your setup here. I have questions for you two because I understand you play a fiddle. What do you call it? A fiddle or a violin?
A fiddle.
Is it about the speed that you play it in?
No, nothing to do with speed. It's just kind of like the style of music, like fiddle music. Like I play folk and Celtic music, so it's more commonly called the fiddle. That's it.
Amazing. And Molson, you play the concertina. Is that what you would call it?
Correct.
So I got a buddy who called it a button organ.
Who's not a buddy anymore.
Ah.
You had a buddy. No, it's not a button accordion. Button accordion's a completely different instrument.
Gotcha.
The thing that's the same. So they're all from the bellow sort of family, the bellow and reeds family, and an accordion, piano on its side, pull the bells in and out, makes the same noise each way. It's monotonic. You take a button accordion, you press a note, it's a different note, in and out, it's diatonic. It's got notes on depends on if you're left or right-handed, most of the time it's on your right-hand side. You got your notes, you got your bass on the left hand. So you have bass in the left hand, you have your notes in the right hand. On concertina, you just have all the notes. You just have all the keys of the piano.
On both sides?
Yes, you're making your own bass up.
Yeah, because you have no keys, you only have buttons.
Buttons all over the place, but you can, each button has one note and they're both diatonic, so one note will play in a different note than it is when it pulls out. And if you want to make a chord, you have to play a couple of buttons together. You don't have a bass and a piano accordion or whatever. You'll press one button and it will press maybe 5 notes. Do you know what I mean? And it'll make up the chord, or make a major, a minor, blah blah, whatever, depending on the row you go to. And but the concertina, you're just making your own thing up. the whole time. So it's a pain in the backside, a total pain, but it's great. It's great. And no one else plays it, so I seem great. But as soon as people start playing it, the trick is up, the jig is up, and then I won't be getting gigs anymore.
Yeah.
So the smaller the concertina is, the better for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
It was like me coming home from Buffalo being a rugby player, and there's like 2 rugby teams in South Jersey, and I'm like half good, you know?
Yeah. You get paid a fortune.
Now, Graham? Are you working pedals down there?
Yeah, well, we all are, but
you all are?
I do. So I've got an octave on my guitar, so it drops it down to like a bass guitar, just on the bottom strings, and then I play the stomp box, which we were chatting about earlier, which is just a beat that runs through the music.
Yeah, so you're the drummer.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I have you to thank for the. Yeah, I'm glad I was following you with my hand.
Good. And then I've got a vocal harmonizer for a couple of wee silly singing bits. But yeah.
And Haley, what's your pedal setup like?
So I've got an octave pedal and a reverb pedal, and that's kind of it, to be honest, nice and simple, but does the job. So yeah.
That's amazing. You guys make a lot of sound for 3 people in a very good way. In a very good way.
We try our best to put as many toys on our instruments as we can, and then it comes through. It comes through slowly.
So, what do you think of your folk festival experience? Have you been able to meet people? Have you been able to get weird in the campground? What's it been like for you guys?
Yeah, it's been all right. We got in fairly late to the festival, so like we got straight into the festival and did our set, and like. Truth be told, we're absolutely wrecked from being away. So like we went back to the hotel, and I had a couple of pints around. There's a little party back, and we had a couple of pints. Got chatting to a couple of the bands, and we've met a couple of the bands before. Your gentleman to our right hand side, we met them at Stanfest, and it was great crack. Do you know what I mean? Like so, we meet people all over the place. We had good crack with some of them. We met a band, guys are from Israel. They're really cool crack, and so you meet bits and bobs. And but we didn't go totally wild. So like today is our day of like chilling and going around and seeing the festival and seeing what's happening and see what bands are playing. That's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah, you're done work now. That was your last set at the Celtic Afternoon.
So it's our last set in America for the next while.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. What did you guys think of the Celtic Afternoon set that you just played? That is a mainstay here at the festival.
It was just like loads of fun, just like amazing vibes, same as last year. But yeah, it was just like before we went on, I think we were all so warm, but then we were like, oh no, how are we going to manage 45 minutes? But it just like went so quickly just because we absolutely were loving it on stage, and yeah, it was just amazing.
It's when a crowd's like going for it, you don't really think about anything else other than making them have a good time. And you're like, if I stop doing it, they're going to have a worse time. So you need to keep doing it. I just keep going. And then I just make loads of noises. Haley keeps smiling and Graham keeps putting the beat in. So like it works. It's a solid system. Yeah.
It's a wonderful combination. I mean, you guys are incredible. Do you put together? And I have to mention, since you said you came in tired, you came from Pittsburgh. Wasn't that what you mentioned?
Yep, I went to Pittsburgh. We played in a place called Club Cafe there, and it was nice venue, nice place. Very different vibe to here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a festival and that's a venue, so it's always a bit different, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, it's the difference between playing to a small room and then playing to like 15,000 people.
Now, how hard is it, since you guys played throughout the weekend, how hard is it to put together set lists, since you figure that the same audience?
Just one size fits all. One size fits all. And they like generally it's the same music, but like everywhere has a different vibe, so you kind of pick up on the crowd differently. You give them a sort of different energy that you were doing at the start or whatever. This seems like very like weird and all this, but like you can play the same set multiple times differently, and I get the freedom because like Haley and Graham are the most solid people in the world, so I get to make all the mistakes I want. So the set will always be different because I'll be making mistakes all over the place, and it'll be great and it'll always be interesting. You won't know that I'm making mistakes, but I'm making so many mistakes, it's unbelievable. But it's great, and they only last till the end of the set, and then it's fine. So I don't know. We sometimes change it up a little bit depending on what the set length is, but if it's the same set and you're doing a different stage, generally we'll just do the same set list and just slam it in a different way, or just harder or softer or whatever. And if they think that it's like the same, I'll just scream at them to jump harder, and it's like, you make it different for us and you start jumping harder, it'll be great. So no, it's fun. It's really fun.
Graham and Haley, how does it feel to be lion tamers? You know, since it seems like that's your job.
Or like Nala, lion
tamers.
Lion tamers.
I am so used to being in this role. No, it is very hard work putting up with Moss, and I'm only joking. It's not at all.
Hayley's my mum.
No, I think just like me and Moss have been playing for like years and years together, so it's just like I think we're just so used to each other. It's like a brother and sister kind of.
Yeah. Hayley's my big sister,
yeah.
and I'm her big brother.
He's more my big brother, but we'll just go with that. Yeah, he does keep me right.
Old.
He actually
Hayley's
keeps me
really
right. I know. Yeah.
Where did you guys meet?
On Tinder. Do you know like the online dating thing? So.
Did you meet Graham there?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, we met him on Grindr.
No, you met him on Grindr, of course.
No, we didn't. We met. Haley's been a big fan of me for years.
Oh yeah,
And,
totally.
years and years.
This is exactly the
Honestly, this is the truth.
Yeah.
And honestly, she's loved me for years. And like, it's taken. She used to message me all the time, but I just never thought much of it. And
You thought she was a groupie?
I knew she was a groupie. She was a groupie.
Of course I was.
And then she started learning the
Obviously.
sets. We used to have another fiddler, and she was great. Oh, she was amazing. She was the love of my life actually. And she left the band after a while, and I was really struggling. And Hayley was like, "Well, do you know what? I love you, and you will love me soon. And so I would like to join the band." And I said, "If you can find a guitarist that learns everything, you can join it." And then she found Graham, and I was like, "Well, he doesn't know everything, but we'll bring him in."
Graham, I can slowly see this becoming more of a duo project.
Definitely.
That was complete.
That's not true.
Yeah,
by
it's
the
not
way.
true in the slightest.
Yeah, it's utter
It's not
rubbish.
true?
Fake
No,
news.
no,
It's
no.
fake news, people.
Fake news. Fake news.
You know,
listeners like stop listening to like that story now makes massive, like it does a lot.
Yeah.
It travels around America and everyone's like, "That's so good. He's such a nice guy letting you join the band." What a nice guy Watson is. No, me and Hayley had bands for years. Like we met like years and years and years ago. And I mean, she probably was a little bit obsessed because I was a bit obsessed with her. But no, we were really good.
Secret time.
Yeah, secret loves. But we've been friends for years, like about 10 years, 10, 12 years. And we started loads of bands. And we started a band called May with another guitarist, then started another band, then started Talisk with another guitarist, and then Graham joined the band. So it came about from the session scene, eh? And then we just it slowly. It was kind of Hayley that made it become a band, because when we started it, Hayley got us a gig at Partick Folk Club in Glasgow, and then we after playing that gig, we were planning to just do that gig and never do any more gigs again. And then Hayley was grabbed the bull by the horn. She's like, "No." It's we're going to do more gigs, and then entered us into the Young Folk Award in Scotland.
And then a year later, we never looked back. I think it was less than a year, wasn't it?
It was a couple of months later.
It was a fast project that kind of took off pretty quick.
It was fun.
How long ago was that?
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did it, and as soon as we got it, we won the BBC's over here. I don't know what's the equivalent over here.
They have BBC here.
We have
They know what
BBC, we have NPR.
So BBC is big.
It's the biggest channel. It's the biggest channel
Broadcasting.
back. Yeah, broadcasting
British
back in the UK.
Broadcasting
Yeah.
Corporation
Yeah.
or something like that.
Soon to be Scottish Independent Broadcasting Association.
I've been mentioned, somebody who's over in the UK said that I'm like BBC One, but I don't think I get BBC One, but he equivalent.
BBC One's a pretty big deal, man.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's a
deal, yeah.
national radio. That's a biggie.
But he said that my music podcast was very similar to BBC
Oh, right, I
One, but
see.
that doesn't mean anything. I don't know what that means.
That means you're
really.
mainstream, man.
Mainstream,
That means
yeah.
you're mainstream.
I'm sitting here with you. I better, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
this
I wish
makes
we
me
were
that
mainstream,
true.
man. We're probably we're amateur BBC One. We are.
We're BBC Scotland.
We're BBC Scotland, our radio too.
So I have a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about at Scotland, if that's okay.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, what's your football team?
Oh, that's a fun game.
That's quite a big question,
This
by
is
the
a
way.
big question
This
because
could get
I
us in
don't-
trouble.
I don't care about football at all in the slightest, so
Are you talking
I'll
about
pass this
soccer?
on to the boys.
Right.
This is fun.
This is a big one.
Well,
I didn't want to start any
Let's just get
controversy,
nailed
but
in-
I hope you know that I'm coming from a good heart with this
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, everyone comes from a good heart. Yeah, it's a lovely question. Questions change things.
It's just an
I'm like,
American
what
show,
questions
innit?
change things?
St. Johnston. No, I don't know.
Clark Thistle football team.
I know, yeah. The independent of Talisk.
Yeah.
Tell us
I'm a Rangers fan.
You are a Rangers
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And are
Just
you?
broadcast this in the States.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you had mentioned Glasgow, so I figured
would say Celtic.
I am a Celtic fan.
I'd say Celtic.
on the old definitely different
Mawson
sides
doesn't
here.
follow
I don't
football
watch
though, which is
football.
a bit. You know.
I just choose winners. is
He
what I
just
choose.
basically just supports Celtic just to humour Graham because he's Rangers. I
yeah.
believe that, but
I do because Henrik Larsson, because I only know two footballers in the world, and that's Henrik Larsson and Nakamura. That's the only people I ever know in the world. So that's it. And we got told, someone got told ages ago, we watched this, there's a program back home called The Chase, right? And it's like, if you ever get asked any question about football, just answer Henrik Larsson or Nakamura and you'll probably be right. And she won like £50,000. So, Nakamura and Henrik Larsson, Celtic, that's where I'm going to go. I played Celtic music, Celtic's close enough.
Yeah. I
am here for ballads.
I am a Celtic fan because my team is the Philadelphia Union, and the first major team that came over to play a friendly was the Celtic.
Did we win?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Here.
Oh, and you set off what are they called? Road flares. Nice. I was sitting in the Celtics section because my cousin Mike, shout out Mike Wright, lived in England with a bunch of crazy Scots, and he would go over and see the Celtic, and he was like, dude, you gotta go. And we changed our tickets from like normal tickets to sitting in the Celtic supporter section. And like 5
They're mental though, they're totally mental.
Oh, they brought the road flares in? No, they came in on the buses from New York City. As soon as they got in, buses park.
That's so funny.
What comes out? Tables, kegs, sandwiches, and then the music immediately. And then we go over, a couple of South Jersey boys. Hey, how you doing? We hung out with them, and then we're sitting with them, and then I became a Celtic fan. So, and I will say, Molson, that the Celtic won me a couple bucks here and there.
That's so funny. It's also funny because I've never seen a Celtic game before, but I have seen a Rangers game. I've already seen Rangers versus Motherwell. I've never seen a Celtic game, but I do have. We've got another band back home, whatever, blah blah. But like, we were bored on a tour, and we were like, let's just buy a plaque. So I've got a plaque in the middle of Celtic Park in the Pathway to Paradise, but I've never ever seen a game. So I'm the biggest Celtic fan that isn't a Celtic fan in the world.
Do you have anything to say about the Rangers?
What would you like me to say? Just a team I support. My family supports it. I've been to many games, so it makes me a natural fan. And,
unlike Molson.
unlike Molson, yeah. No, I mean it's a good. It'll be nice to see Rangers and Celtic back at the same level. Just for a bit of competition.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Celtic will enjoy that as well, so they can actually do well in Europe.
I'd say so,
because they keep getting pumped in Europe. So.
So I have another question for you guys because. I grew up and I saw the movie Trainspotting when I was a kid, and I love the book too. So how many times do people come up to you and ask you, is it shite being Scottish?
Never. If you're in America and you're Scottish, you're gold dust. If you've got Irish heritage, you're just one of everyone else.
I am just one of everyone else.
No one asks you that. It's just something you feel. Most days.
I didn't see the sequel. Did you guys see the sequel to Trainspotting? Is it great?
Brilliant. Yeah, you should watch
Wonderful.
it. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix.
Yeah. I love Begbie, man.
Yeah,
Begbie. Man, that scene when he goes crazy and he breaks the glass against the pool cue and just stabs that guy. It's just like, I understand your character now. I know exactly where you're coming from this entire movie.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing film, actually. It's really good.
So you guys have 2 albums out. Your most recent one is it Abyss? What's the newest one?
Abyss is the new one.
That's the new one.
Beyond is the second one. And you know it's the second one because it goes in alphabetical order. So we've got a lifespan of 26 albums and then we're done. When Zebra comes out, it's going to be a beautiful year.
Amazing. So you guys mentioned that you're touring throughout the States coming up here. Where are you going?
Yep, cool. So I'll, because I know them off the top of my head and I've been studying them a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. Molson, actually you have them tattooed on your arm over there,
if
I'm not mistaken, Or are they tattooed
on
Graham's ass over there? I'm not
that's
sure.
the thing. Graham loved it.
Is this a late night show?
This is the High Note Breakfast Show.
Oh man, we talk about whatever we want here.
And kids, you stay safe in school. Have fun in school. So anyway, we're going to we're starting off. We're coming over. Me and Haley are going on a little holiday in New York first.
Doing a bit of old sightseeing.
Yeah, go and see the Eiffel Tower. But no, we're going to New York on the 27th of September. In Rockwood Music Hall. I'm just going to say every detail about it. Okay.
Please.
That's it. Okay. So New York City, New York State, Rockwood Music Hall, Hall 2, on the 27th of September. We need to take up time. We've run out of sets. We need to keep talking. We're coming to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Folk Song Society on the 28th of September. Cumberland, Rhode Island, Blackstone River Theatre on the 29th. Cambridge, Massachusetts, Club Passim on the 30th. And then we're going to Northampton, Massachusetts, the Parlour Room. And then we're ending up in Bar Harbor, Maine, in the Criterion Theatre on the 4th of October.
Wonderful. What
It's
a
going to be
wonderful tour.
quality.
I have to, this is probably hard for you to pick, but since you've been to America, do you have a favorite city or a favorite
York.
festival? New York. Graham, straight up. Whoa, easy.
It's easy, man. It's one of
Why?
those. No, I wouldn't say a favorite. That's unfair.
Yeah.
But New York is just there's nothing like it at home. Like nothing.
Is it
It's
because the
totally
hockey
wild.
team's called the Rangers? You bastard.
Yeah.
New York Rangers. Do you know I actually do have what do you think? It's like a flag, like a triangle flag. I've got one of them, but not because I don't know. No, I like the Mighty Ducks, man. That's what.
Do you
it's at.
really?
Well, only for the film, But no, I reckon for places I visit in New York, gig-wise, I don't know gig-wise. We've not actually.
There's
There've been so many good ones.
So many good places. It's so hard to like pinpoint.
I quite like the West Coast.
Ah, yeah,
Because
that's nice.
like over here it's great, and like East Coast great. That's, like Philadelphia's really nice, but like it's quite hard. Like you don't get Midwest is very flat.
We
It's
like
very
the
flat.
hills.
But then you go over to the West Coast, and it's like you go to California, it's like beautiful. Then you go like through. If you go like through Oregon and all the rest of it, it's like hills and mountains and all the rest of it. Then you go through the Rockies and the Colorado. And it's actually amazing. So I don't know.
I don't want to pick one. We might offend someone. Let's not pick the best gig.
We just love America. We
Yeah.
love all
USA.
visiting all different parts of it.
Yeah.
They're all quite special.
yeah, they're all quite
like we
special.
were saying before, everything has its own wee.
Haley, you know you can't run for president here, right?
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to try my very best.
We're usually
but-
getting those super delegates.
I just change your birth certificate.
Yeah.
I love everybody. Everybody is wonderful.
I
What
like
do
them
those-
all, except for the ones I don't like. I don't like them ones.
all I will offer is a little advice. If you ever guys talk to real media, have Haley do all the talking.
I know, yeah.
I do think so. I'm
if
always
you could,
very
if you could
PC.
like vocalize a smile, we'll do that.
Luckily, none of my listeners give a fuck, and I don't think anybody at this table gives a fuck either.
good
So
everyone has a choice.
say whatever you
Love
want, you
it.
know.
Basically, I love the moment. I love where I am at the moment, and that's all I care about. Because what's happened's happened. So I'm loving what I'm living in.
Stay in the
That's
present.
it.
Stay in the present. That is it.
Because the present's a gift. The past was gone, and the future's still to come.
And the future is unknown. So let's
Yes.
just enjoy the moment.
Yes. Mahatma Gandhi.
Shall we move on?
Okay. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I can't even ask another question after that. Oh my
that was
God.
pretty philosophical
Yeah.
and beautiful, wasn't it? Nah. Nah, man, nasty.
So, is there anything else that you folks wanted to mention before I ask you each 3 very silly questions?
Just buy our CD,
Come
follow
to
our
our gigs.
music. Don't go to any other gigs but our gigs. Unless you can't get tickets for our gigs, then tell everybody that you want us to play at your gigs, and we'll be amazing crack for your gigs. And we'll give you free merchandise as long as you give me free money.
Yeah, that sounds about fair.
I think
right?
that's solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
You give me something
want
for free, I'll give you something for free.
I did want to mention one more thing for you guys because I just popped into my head. After seeing you guys last year at Christmas, I went to my brother-in-law's house and they had just had a baby, so they're hosting Christmas dinner, right? After dinner, we go over to the bar, we drink some scotch, and I said, you know, it would really go good with this scotch. Some fucking Scots, and I put
some
on
ice.
a little bit of ice too.
Some ice.
But I put on Talisk.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
and me and my brother-in-law and Uncle Andrew were hanging out, drinking scotch, listening to Talisk. And from now on, anytime that I drink scotch, I have to listen to your music. So I think that is, it's a flavor pairing. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to drink scotch in America, you should probably listen to Talisk.
That's a quality
think so.
t-shirt. I'm going to make that into a t-shirt. We'll make that into a t-shirt. That's a quality t-shirt.
Will you put one of my high note buttons on there? I'll give you one after.
Talisk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll put you on.
That's a good slogan. I enjoy
That's
that.
quality. Yeah, but it's funny as well because we're like Graham drinks whiskey, but we were never whiskey drinks at all. But the thing what actually happened is Haley, the band was supposed to be called Talisker, and Haley started drinking Talisker, and then forgot how to spell, and then was writing Talisk.
Again,
and then
this is
left.
fake news, people.
This is
Gonna
what
cut you
happened.
off there, Moss and Amini.
Quality crack. But no, quality.
I was going to bring up my flask of Redbreast 12. I didn't know if you guys would throw me in the creek for bringing up Irish whiskey to a
Yeah,
couple of
man.
Scots.
That can go away.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only appease a few.
No, we're all, if you enjoy it, gets you there, go for it.
Yeah, I just want you to be in the same level as me.
You folks are amazing. So, anything else before I ask you 3 silly questions?
I don't know.
Go for the questions.
Ask your questions.
All right, so I'm going to go.
Just keep it clean.
Let's go.
Nah, don't.
Oh, well, the questions will be clean. The
Nah, don't
queen,
make it clean.
clean. The answers might not be. It's up
Quality.
to you. So my
already
first question,
did.
we'll go this way here.
Okay.
So Haley will start. What was the first concert that you ever attended?
Oh, that's a very, very hard
We
question.
got asked that the other day as well, and we couldn't
I
even answer
honestly cannot remember, but this might sound. I
Maybe
just
go your
remember
earliest memory.
You were that drunk?
maybe
Yeah,
maybe
10 years old.
something like a UK band, like a UK girl band called Hearsay,
it. You're saying.
or something like that.
Hearsay's
A
good.
very UK girl and boy band that was like everyone, and then, like every 8-year-old or 9-year-old loved that. It was probably my first concert. So yeah,
Yeah.
Mawson.
My
you're
first
next.
concert was S Club 7.
Was it? Same,
S
it's
Club
the same
7.
vibe here. I was like Hearsay, S Club.
I
both
think me
things.
and Haley were at the same gig.
Right. Yeah.
I think mine was just like a local in the village. It's not that funny. It's just like people playing traditional music in the local village hall.
Nice.
Planks
That's okay.
day.
That's
but
okay.
I have been to like a pop gig. Did you get the Wanted over here? You remember them? No, you probably didn't get them here.
No,
They're
no.
terrible.
Like my UK bands, like I love the Streets. I love.
Real music.
Oh yeah, is that real music?
Ours
for
is
you?
all not real music.
I know.
You know, it's all boy bands
Chips
and girl
and
bands.
drinks.
Yeah.
So my second question is, what was the first album that you either bought or received as a gift? So basically, the question is, what was your first album? Haley, we're starting with you.
Oh, this is really difficult again.
Do you want me to go
I
first?
genuinely
No.
think it might have been Dido again.
Dido, brilliant.
That was my Christmas present. I was given a Dido album.
On CD? On CD?
Yeah, on the old CD, yeah.
Mine was Georgie McKeeman and the Rhythm Boys.
I don't
I
know.
don't even care.
They're not even listening.
No, mine was now 54. Right, and now
Something like that for me as well.
Yeah, that's what mine
Dido
was.
right
54 is
now
a
is
late
something.
one.
Yeah, no, was it 54? Was it maybe 56?
No, it must have been in the 40s.
46.
When I was young, it was the early
Yeah,
40s.
50 was it?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it was maybe 44, maybe now 44, and it was like I'm Blue Abadi Abadai, and it was Hey Mickey, you're so fine, you're so fine,
Hey,
you blow my
Mickey,
mind.
you're so fine.
That was
Yeah,
the one. That
all
was my song.
It was. I probably got the same album as
Yeah.
Wilson did because me and my sisters just love all that kind
Yeah,
of
they're
stuff.
good ones.
I loved it, and it had like Call on Me on it as well. Like Edit
All the
Fritz.
like charts. And
Oh,
that
that was the
time,
next
aye,
year. Oh, it was
probably
quality.
something like that, yeah.
I loved it. What were you, G?
Yeah, I mean, probably just the same.
Yeah.
Now was like a good
Solid
compilation.
one,
Maybe
wasn't
like
it?
some ultimate guitar hits or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
As
yeah.
I used to get quite a lot of them for Christmas.
It's
So,
a
you know,
definite safe,
Deep Purple
safe
and all that.
present from your parents we get it
Yeah.
now because it's got
It's got it all.
everything on it. Like
Do you have
on the
that
new
here?
album.
The now albums.
Oh, of
yeah,
course.
Now This Is Music.
Yeah, oh, I know exactly what you're talking.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all of my listeners will know exactly what you're
Cool.
talking about. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
It's magic. It's smart, innit? It's a smart move.
I wish I thought of it.
I want that.
Definitely.
So the last question: what is your favorite soundtrack from a movie?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh. Can you go to Mawson first? I'm gonna
Nah, go to Graham first.
Yeah. Oh, Graham.
Well, for a film, I don't know. So, if I went for like a musical first, as I think about the other one, I would say Les Mis.
Les
You know,
Mis.
yeah, like.
See, you did the same shit that Steve Poltz did because I usually do a no musical policy, but
Oh,
he
really?
picked Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh,
but I'm
it's-
allowing it.
Yeah, but
I'm allowing
they've
it.
been made films.
Exactly.
Or-
That's why I think it's a cheater, but I'll allow
Oh,
it.
but on
Maybe-
the musical one, I would go like the next generation of Les Mis and go to The Greatest Showman is what I would do for the musical.
And for me, I'm going to answer this in a one-hour. I would just say I just love Disney music. I actually love Disney music. It can take me somewhere very,
Very
just,
emotional.
I love it, yeah. And I just think it's like some of it's so cleverly done, and it's always over kind of looked, but yeah, I think me and Mawson take quite a wee bit of influence from
Maybe
Disney music.
also, did you see the Grand Budapest Hotel?
I
That's some brilliant
love
music in
Wes
it.
Anderson. Yeah, man.
That sort of weird kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like me and Graham are gonna get wasted tonight. I feel like that him and I
Watch
are gonna
that-
be.
watch that- watch
Oh
that
yeah,
film.
we'll be listening to the Streets. We're
Yeah.
gonna get really
I know,
weird.
It's going to be the complete opposite way because like my like favorite sort of music, my favorite like soundtrack is like anything from like I'm a crier. I love crying. I love crying. I'm such a weirdo.
I would never have guessed you were an emotional guy.
I'm not emotional at
Very
all, man.
emotional
Not
guy.
emotional. Honestly,
If I
we'll go on
pick
stage.
that guy up, I'm done.
Yeah, go on stage and we'll slam it. We'll go absolutely mad. But I'll go home and I'll listen to like the saddest music in the world, like listen to like Ludovico Einaudi and all the rest of it, all these like really sad pianists and all the rest of it, and cry myself to sleep. And like I think my favorite like I used to like. There was one called Tears of the Sun, a film called Tears of the Sun. Bruce Willis in it, and it was amazing. But it was like kind of scary. But it was like the music was kind of like disconcerting, but it's like amazing. It's got loads of African stuff in it. It's actually amazing. And then like recently is like The Theory of Everything. I think The Theory of Everything is like the best soundtrack
That music
ever.
though is, I don't know.
See, that's why me and Graham don't get all my musicals.
That's doesn't matter.
Mine and Graham's
We
films
could talk for
films
ages
are
about
different. But me and Haley wrote like tunes for Talisk based on Disney riffs.
Definitely.
Like loads of Disney riffs. We basically like based for like tunes in Talisk. So
You just made my wife very happy.
Oh, I tell you,
Love it.
that's my job.
Hey, easy. I turned to my wife last year as I was last night as I was slapping my leg, and I said, "Didn't last year I say to you that I was gonna run home with a Scotsman after I saw your set?"
Possibly, quite possibly.
Well, you're in competition with Steve Poltz because he tried to pick me up during my interview too.
yeah?
Well, you know what? Fine, he wins. Fine.
Amazing.
Well, Talisk, thank you very much. That's the weirdest
bother,
note
man.
that I've ended an interview on. But
I know,
anything
I know,
else
yeah.
you guys
It's
want
a
to
bit strange, isn't it? Don't take that one home.
Just would love to see everyone at our gigs. It'd
Yeah,
be
that's a
really,
good
be
finish.
really amazing.
It is so wonderful to have you folks here.
Pleasure,
I really appreciate everything that you're doing. The Folk Song Society loves you. Everybody on the Hill loves you. All of my friends were so jealous that I was interviewing you. This is crazy. So I just want to thank you guys again very much for being on the High Note podcast.
Thank you for having us. Yeah,
Pleasure,
nice one.
man. Anytime.
Thank you.
It's great. It's really interesting. We're lucky it happened, actually.
You're lucky I don't knock your fucking head in.
There's no need to get violent, is there? I'm trying to swear for that, please.
You can always put in a fucking bleep, can't you?
Yeah, that's not the point, though.
No, that's not the point, is it? The point is how come you think you can interfere with the way we talk and not interfere when the band's broken down?
Yeah, right.
Answer that and stay fashionable.
Come on, boys, let's keep cool. We got
Fuck
an awful lot.
When you go yo and I go mine, and I ain't get away for nothing, 'cause that just ain't my style. Life couldn't get better. This gon' be the best day ever.
In the myth, I'm Hiram Abyss. I resurrect Jesus myself and buy him a spliff.
It does go well with the chicken.
Delicious again, Peter.